So last Tuesday, I had the worst day at work, like genuinely terrible. My boss called me unprepared in front of the whole team, my coffee spilled on my laptop, and I found out I'm definitely not getting that promotion. I get home, I'm scrolling through my phone trying to decompress, and I see an ad for a mini waffle maker. Do I need a mini waffle maker? Absolutely not. Do I even like waffles that much? Not really. Did I buy it anyway? You already know the answer. But here's where it gets weird. The second I hit place order, I felt better? Like genuinely calm for the first time all day. And then 3 minutes later, I'm staring at the confirmation email like, why the hell did I just buy a waffle maker? If you've ever bought something completely random when your life was falling apart and then felt personally attacked by your own bank statement, this video is about to explain why your brain keeps doing this to you. I'm going to break down the actual psychology behind why stress makes you spend money on stuff you don't need, why this happens on autopilot even when you know you shouldn't, and the 5 specific things that actually stop it. Not willpower, not just be better, actual tactics. Full disclosure, I've bought a bread maker I've never used, a yoga mat that's still in the box, and yes, that waffle maker is currently holding my mail, so I'm speaking from experience here. Okay, so I need to tell you about my friend Jake, because his doom spending story is honestly iconic. Jake's girlfriend breaks up with him, out of nowhere, like he thought they were fine and then she just ended it over text. Brutal. He's sitting on his couch, devastated, scrolling through his phone in that zombie state you get into when you're trying not to think about something, and he sees an ad for a high-end espresso machine, one of those fancy ones that looks like it belongs in a coffee shop. Now, Jake doesn't even drink espresso. He's a black coffee guy, has been his whole life. But something in his brain goes, you know what would make this better? A $700 espresso machine. He buys it, same day, doesn't even read the reviews. The box shows up 3 days later, massive box. He opens it, looks at this complicated machine with all these buttons and steam wands, and just stares at it. Then he texts me a photo with the caption, "Why did I buy this?" I'm like, bro, I don't know, you don't drink espresso. He goes, I know, but when I bought it, I felt like I was fixing something. And that sentence right there, that's the whole thing. He wasn't buying an espresso machine, he was buying the feeling of being in control when everything else felt chaotic. The machine's still sitting on his counter, by the way, never been used. It's basically a very expensive decoration at this point. He keeps saying he'll learn to use it, but we both know that's not happening. Alright, so here's what's actually happening in your brain when you do this, and I promise this is going to make every weird purchase you've ever made suddenly make sense. Your brain has this threat detection system called the amygdala. When something bad happens, breakup, bad day at work, seeing your rent is due and you're broke, your amygdala starts freaking out. It's basically your brain's alarm system. But here's the problem. Your amygdala is really dumb. It cannot tell the difference between there's an actual emergency and I'm just having a bad day. Both scenarios make it scream, danger, fix this now. So what does your brain do? It looks for the fastest way to make you feel better, and in our world, that's usually shopping. When you buy something, your brain dumps dopamine. That's the feel-good chemical. Same thing you get from eating pizza or getting likes on your posts, or, honestly, any addiction. Your brain doesn't care that you're buying a waffle maker you'll never use. It just cares about that hit of relief. And when you're stressed, your body is already flooded with cortisol, which is basically stress juice. And cortisol makes you crave dopamine like crazy. So you're not just wanting to shop, your brain is actively hunting for it like it's a survival need. This is what scientists call the cortisol dopamine loop, and it's basically a trap your brain sets for itself. You're stressed, you shop, you get dopamine, stress drops for a few minutes. Then you realize you just spent money you don't have, which makes you more stressed, which makes you crave more dopamine, which makes you shop more. It's like your brain is trying to put out a fire by pouring gasoline on it. Not helpful, brain, not helpful. But here's where it gets really messy. Every time you do this, every time you use shopping to feel better, even temporarily, you're teaching your brain that this strategy works. You're building a neural pathway that says bad feeling equals buy stuff equals good feeling. Do this enough times and it becomes automatic, a habit. And habits don't ask for permission, they just run. That's why you can end up with a full shopping cart and genuinely not remember how you got there. Your conscious brain wasn't driving, the habit was. And your brain honestly thinks it's helping. It found a solution to the stress problem and it's going to keep using it. From your brain's perspective, mission accomplished. You felt better. The fact that you're now broke is a future problem, and your brain does not care about future problems when there's a current emergency. Now, before we get to the actual solutions, I gotta tell you why everything you've already tried hasn't worked. You've probably told yourself, okay, I'm just not gonna buy stuff when I'm stressed anymore. Maybe you deleted some shopping apps, maybe you tried really hard to resist the urge, and then you bought something anyway and felt like a failure, right? Here's the thing. You were trying to fight a biological response with a decision. That's like trying to stop being hungry by deciding not to be. Your body's going to win that fight every single time. So we need smarter strategies. Here are the 5 tactics that actually work. I tested all of these on myself because I had to. Tactic 1. The screenshot trick. When you want to buy something, don't fight the urge. That makes it stronger and you'll probably lose. Instead, screenshot whatever you want, save it to a folder called maybe or later or whatever. Then tell yourself, I can buy this tomorrow if I still want it. Not, I can't have this, just not right this second. What happens is 24 hours later, the emotional storm has passed and you look at that screenshot like, a mini waffle maker? What was I thinking? I currently have 247 screenshots in my maybe later folder. That's literally thousands of dollars I almost spent and didn't. And the funny part is I scroll through that folder sometimes and I cannot remember why I wanted half that stuff. Tactic 2. Replace the behavior. Your brain wants stress relief. If you just take away shopping without giving it something else, it's going to find another way to cope, and it might be worse. So you need a replacement dopamine source. The key is it has to be immediate and it has to actually feel good. For me, it's going to the gym and absolutely destroying a workout until I'm too tired to think. By the time I'm done, whatever I was stressed about feels smaller and the shopping urge is gone. My friend does this thing where she reorganizes her entire closet when she's stressed. Another friend calls his mom and lets her talk at him for 30 minutes. One person I know just watches the same episode of The Office on repeat. Doesn't matter what it is as long as it gives your brain a different route to feeling better, and you can do it right when the urge hits. Tactic 3. Make it physically annoying to spend money. Delete all your saved payment info, every website, remove your card from Apple Pay and Google Pay, unfollow every brand you follow on Instagram, unsubscribe from marketing emails. I know this sounds extreme, but friction is your weapon here. When you have to physically get up, walk across your room, find your wallet in your bag, pull out your card and manually type in all the numbers, that gives your logical brain time to catch up and go, wait, do we actually need this? I've personally abandoned at least 40 carts just because I didn't want to get my card. That's probably $2,000 in impulse buys that got stopped by pure laziness. I'll take it. Tactic 4. Name what you're actually feeling. Keep a note on your phone. Every time you get the urge to doom spend, write one sentence about what's actually wrong. Boss was a jerk today. Feeling lonely. Anxious about bills. Whatever it is. Writing it down does 2 things. 1, it makes the emotion less intense. Your brain shifts from emotion mode to thinking mode. And 2, after a couple weeks, you'll start seeing patterns. Like maybe you always want to shop on Sunday nights because you're dreading Monday. Or maybe it's always after you scroll Instagram for too long and see everyone else's perfect lives. Once you see the pattern, you can plan around it. You know Sunday night is high risk, so you make sure your credit card is in a different room and you call a friend instead. Tactic 5. Give yourself a doom spending allowance. This sounds backwards, but hear me out. Set aside a small amount each month, $20, $30, whatever you can actually afford, that's specifically for emotional purchases. That's your I'm having a terrible day fund. You're allowed to spend it on whatever random thing makes you feel better in the moment. Why does this work? Because when you have permission, the forbidden fruit thing goes away. When you tell yourself, I can never emotionally spend ever again, your brain rebels like a toddler. But when you say, I have $30 for this, the compulsion gets weaker. Plus, if you're going to doom spend anyway, at least it's a controlled amount. It's harm reduction. And honestly, some months I don't even use mine because knowing it's there is enough. Look, doom spending doesn't mean you're financially irresponsible or broken or weak. It means your brain is trying to solve a real problem with the only tool it knows. The goal isn't to become a perfect robot who never makes an emotional purchase. The goal is to catch yourself in the loop and have other options besides checking out at 2 a.m. If this made sense, drop a like so the algorithm shows this to more people who need it. And if you want to know why you always feel broke even though you make decent money, watch the lifestyle creep video next. Oh, and if anyone wants a slightly used mini waffle maker, hit me up. I'll give you a great deal.